Hello everyone and welcome. In this video we're going to be changing the oil in my 1999 Acura Integra. And a big thanks to Pennzoil for sponsoring this video. They have a line of synthetic motor oils which are created with natural gas as the base oil. Now before we get into the oil change, let's talk about why you might use natural gas as a base oil. So an oil is composed of about 80% of a base oil, and then the other 20% of what's in here is additives. Now there's all kinds of claims on the back here of all the great things that this oil is going to do for you, but a lot of those can be done simply by changing your oil regularly. The benefit of using natural gas comes down to its temperature properties. So what Pennzoil did is they took a bunch of different group 2 and group 3 base oils and compared them with natural gas as a base oil, and they used the same additive package across all of these base oils, and they ran tests on them. And what these tests showed is that using natural gas as the base oil provides these temperature benefits. So the three major temperature-based benefits of this natural gas base oil, they found that it had lower viscosity at lower temperatures, which means during cold starts, it's going to be easier for the oil to circulate in the engine. They also found that it had a lower volatility, which means at higher temperatures, the oil is less likely to evaporate, which means less oil burn off. And then finally, they found that it had increased oxidation stability. And this basically just means that the oil is less likely to break down from extreme temperatures. Now, if you go for the top of the line Pennzoil Ultra Platinum, they make pretty bold claims about this with its relationship to piston cleaning. So they claim, based on the ASTM Sequence 3G piston deposit test using 5W30 oil with the V6 engine, that this Pennzoil Ultra Platinum is basically going to give you up to 25% cleaner pistons than Mobil 1, up to 35% cleaner pistons versus Valvoline SynPower, and up to 40% cleaner pistons versus Castrol Edge with Syntec. Now once again, this is all done with industry standardized testing. But enough talk about why it might be beneficial to use natural gas in a motor oil. I'm going to be using Platinum High Mileage because it has additional additives to help prevent oil burn off. And that's a big problem in my Integra, so hopefully this can help out. Getting started, the first thing you may want to do is either run your car or drive it around for a little bit to help warm up the oil, and this will help it drain faster. But of course, be careful not to touch anything hot once you do start working on it. Next, place the car up on jack stands. I have a separate video explaining how to do this that I will link in the video description. Make sure that the vehicle is stable and do this on flat ground, and also be sure to place chocks behind the rear wheels. Next, you're going to want to locate the drain plug on the oil pan. Check the owner's manual if you're not sure where this is. Place the drain tub underneath the drain plug and unscrew the drain plug, being careful not to get any of the hot oil on your hands. Once the oil has stopped draining, remove the oil filter. Unscrew it slightly at first to allow oil to drain out. This may require a special tool depending on how tight it is. You can rent these at your local auto parts shop. After oil has stopped draining from the loosened filter, you can remove it. Dump the excess oil in the filter into the pan. Use a small amount of oil and rub it on the oil gasket on the new filter. Also ensure that the rubber gasket from the old filter is not stuck on the car. Screw the new oil filter on. After the rubber seal seats, tighten the oil filter 7/8 of a turn clockwise per the service manual. You can also use a torque up to 16 pound-feet per the Acura Integra service manual. Now this may be different depending on the vehicle and depending on the oil filter, so you can check the instructions on the oil filter itself or your particular car's service manual. Screw down the drain bolt, making sure to replace the crush washer located between the pan and the bolt. You can pick these up at the auto parts store. For the Integra, it's a 14mm crush washer, and this is torqued down to 33 pound-feet per the service manual. Clean any oil that may remain on the car off from the drain plug or the oil filter. Oil could drip onto the exhaust and burn off. Pull the drain tub out from under the car and lower the car back down. Unscrew the oil fill cap and add the recommended quantity and type. In this case, we're going to be using 4 quarts of 5W30 into the engine. Screw the oil cap back on and then run the car for a few minutes and then shut it off. Check underneath the car for any oil leaks and address as needed. Be sure to check the oil fill level using the dipstick after you've run the engine. You're going to want to see the oil at the top mark on the engine oil dipstick. This will ensure that the oil filter is full and that you filled the oil to the correct level. Add oil if needed. You also want to make sure to dispose of the oil properly. Many auto parts stores or shops will take it and recycle it. Some cities may allow for you to place the oil in a jug at the curb for recycling. Feel free to check out related content in the video description. As always, if you have any questions or comments, you can leave those below. Thanks for watching.